Hey, what's up? It's Sifu Kuttel, and in this video, we're going to be looking at two techniques from my book, Monkey Movement. Now, these are martial techniques for monkey kung fu. Of course, it's not exclusive to just monkey kung fu, but these are prominent techniques that you'll see in monkey style because it's usually from a roll that you'll move into one of these kicks, and monkey does a lot of moving around close to the ground and rolling. Now, you can find these techniques on page 54. We're going to be working on the ground side kick. And then as well, page 55, we're going to be doing the ground back kick. So you can do these kicks from just being on the ground. However, we're going to employ these from a roll. So the cool way to look at this is we're either rolling in towards our opponent, we're moving in for the attack, or we're rolling away from our opponent and we're looking to do a kick counter. You'll see it as we do it. It makes a lot more sense that way. So let's go hit the mats. Now, before we get too far into these techniques, one of the important things is you need to be able to do a shoulder roll so that you can work on these moving forward and moving backward. If you do not know how to do a shoulder roll, I suggest you check out this video up here. It'll teach you how to do that so that you're ready to do this with the kicks. Now, with that said, let's do the kick position and then we'll add the roll. So for our first kick, we're going to be doing the ground side kick. So when we kick, we want to use the blade edge of the foot. We're trying to kick up towards the ribs, or we can kick lower to the knees, or if we angle the foot a little bit, this can go right up and we can kick towards the groin. Now you can also use this kick as dropping back like a falling kick. We are going to start on the ground. So what I'm going to do is rest my left side on the ground, tuck my left leg in with my foot pointing upward. This way I can protect my groin while I'm kicking. I have something in between me and my opponent. Now from here, I'm just going to extend my leg out. Notice my toes are turned. I'm aiming with my heel to strike. I'm going to bend my knee, bring it as close to my chest as possible, and then I'm going to press straight out and up. So practice this, just pull the foot back, make like a T with your feet, and then extend that kick out. Make sure that you're not trying to lift up off the ground, your head is not touching the ground. And notice I have my arm out. This is for extra support. This hand is to keep me so I can press up if I need to get up. This hand, if I'm falling back, I can hit the ground right here and then throw this kick, okay? Now, it's important if you are using this kick, even though we're using that blade edge of the foot, if you hit and only towards the toes, you have a chance of bending your ankle back. So we actually want to hit towards the heel. So when you thrust this kick forward, it should be more of a straight line down the leg towards the heel, even though we have the foot kind of angled so it's pointing towards the ground. Now let's try it with a shoulder roll. Now, when we usually do a shoulder roll, we end up on our feet. And this actually means that we've gone too far. You want to think of doing a shoulder roll and then flattening out the body when you do this. Now, of course, don't flatten out. You're just going to end up on the ground and totally open for your opponent to attack. So when we finish and we're about to flatten out, we're going to extend that arm out to the side, put our other hand down, tuck the legs in, and then thrust that kick out. So now you have to make sure that when you do this forward shoulder roll, you don't just stop and then kick. This takes away a lot of momentum and a lot of power potential that we have. So if we combine that momentum from our forward roll into that quick snapping power of that ground side kick, we can have a lot of devastating power in this kick. And you could really see this from the roll, knocking that pad pretty far back. Now, what happens if we're not rolling towards our opponent, but away? Again, we're going to use a shoulder roll. So think of that if you had to turn and then do a roll to get away. Now, of course, at the end of the roll here, instead of stopping early, we're going to continue the momentum and then place our hands down on the ground. The rest of it is actually pretty simple, so let's look at that technique. So the first thing we're going to do is actually start on all fours. We have our hands and our knees down on the ground, and then I want my toes touching in the back. I want to have the ability to push up if I need to from here. So don't just have your feet down flat. Now from here, I'm going to raise my leg up. I want to have my knee and my foot level and up to the side. And then think of from here, pushing straight back using the entire bottom of the foot and the heel into my target. Now, of course, once I hit something, I have extra support in my arms to back that up. So I have a lot of extra support with my knee touching the ground and my hands touching the ground to really put power into this kick. Because we're rolling in the direction that's opposite of our kick, we don't have that power generation that we did with our ground side kick. So for the ground back kick, all of the power has to come from the correct positioning here and then this straight line into our target, okay? So this is where we generate that power. Now we can use this kick to kick towards the knees of our opponent or shins. We can kick towards the groin, the stomach, and if they start leaning forward to try to grab or punch or attack us, we can kick towards the chest and even up towards the head. So you have that ability as well with this kick. The main thing is we're stopping our momentum, and as the opponent's coming in, we're catching them with that foot. Okay, so there you have it. It's definitely a lot easier to understand these techniques once you put in that context of rolling in towards your opponent or rolling away for that kick counter. Now you can find these two kicks as well as more techniques in my book, Monkey Movement. It's on Amazon. I have a link in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. I also have a playlist with a bunch of other techniques that I've pulled from the book so you can work on those just on YouTube. So you have a choice there. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. And of course, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next.